everybody, it's me, Laura, and today we're going to bring about our chain links cane in Zentangle form. Yes, I've been looking forward to doing this one for so long, I can't even tell you. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I think you're all going to enjoy it. Anyway, I'm starting out with two bullseye canes, and they're both at 1.25 inches. But we're going to go ahead and take one of those bullseye canes, and we're going to create a 3/4 inch square. So I'm just going to cut the sides off of one of these. And you don't want to cut a ton off, but enough to make sure you get it down and measure it as you go. So what we're really shooting for is going to be 3/4 inch in diameter for this square cane, or I should say this square log. And you're going to want to have two of these. So you're going to have to measure as you go, make sure you get them down to 3/4 inch, and then we'll take the rounded log there, and that will also be reduced down to 3/4 inch in diameter. Okay, so this is going to sound a little strange, but we're going to take that 3/4 inch log, this, the rounded one, and we're going to do this to all of them, the square ones and the rounded ones. And we're going to wrap this in a piece of black on a number 3 setting from your Atlas pasta machine. Now, I do this because in this particular cane, and this is to help keep give me a line, okay? I need to know what my line thickness is going to be. And so that's why I'm doing this. Normally you'd say, oh, just wrap a log. I'm like going, yeah, that's true. But let's say I want to go ahead and recreate this cane. If you don't have an idea of how you started it, it's very hard to go back and try to redo it again, unless you kept track in your mind. So, and even then, no. So really what I would say is doing this gives you a basic place to start. So if I know exactly that I went to a pasta machine and it was done on number 3 setting, like I had said here, that really gives an idea of where, how to go ahead and make it. In this case here where I wrapped it twice on a number 1 setting with my Atlas pasta machine. This gives you an idea of the thicknesses involved and what your line is going to be in the end. Now I'm bringing in another sheet of black, and this was done also again on a number 3 setting. And really throughout this whole thing, I will say that number 3 setting with your black line on all of my canes, that's how I'm doing this. So if I have a particular thin line I want, it's going to be on a number 3 setting with your pasta machine. The white is done on a number 1 setting. Also with my Atlas pasta machine, again, kind of going back to those thicknesses, we're going to take the white here and we're going to wrap it again twice with the white. Once I do that, I'll wrap it again with the black, also again with that number 3 setting. Okay, so again, we're going to bring in that black log, and just like I had done with the white rounded log, we're going to wrap this in the black on a number 3 setting with our Atlas pasta machine. Once I have this, in this particular cane, yes, I'm wrapping it, but once I get it wrapped, I like to go around to the corners, and I don't really show it right there, but I like to pinch my corners. So I want to make sure that I get kind of as much of a sharp corner, creating a square as possible. So this way then it becomes more dynamic. Now I probably could have done that even more so in this cane than what I'm even showing, but if you can go around and use your roller like I'm doing right there, that helps a little bit. Don't try to press down too much because you don't want to reduce this down where it becomes out of sync with the rounded cane. So right here, again, I wrapped it twice in the white on the number 1 setting, wrap it again in the black on a number 3 setting, and then twice again in the white on a number 1 setting, and then wrap that again with the black on a number 3 setting. So as I am finishing up this square cane with the black and white, I want to mention that you will be creating 4 canes in all. So 2 round, 2 square. However, they will not all be done in black and white. Instead, where you have the white clay, you're going to have gray or silver clay in those areas. So you'll have one with black and white, one with black and silver, and that will be both with the round and square canes. Okay, so now we've got our square cane here with the black and the white, and I'm creating a couple of lines with my blade here, and I'm doing that just so I can get, as straight of a line as possible before I cut down. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut down from one, opposite corners. So you're creating 2 big triangles, and then you're going to cut the other side, and that'll give you then 4 triangles overall. You're going to pull these pieces apart, and you're going to take one of those triangles and wrap it on with the number 3 setting with the black sheet again on the area where it's not black. Okay, this is going to give you a nice line so that it'll kind of encase that white part, and you'll have a nice line that joins up. Once you do this, keep the placement of where you have each of these 4 triangles. And the reason is you're going to go ahead and take the one just on the opposite side and do the same thing. Okay, now we've gone to the gray one, and you could tell I'm going to do the same thing here. You're going to cut this thing into 4 triangles, and then you're also going to wrap 2 pieces in that black. Now notice here I joined it up, and I did this so I would give you guys an idea what this kind of looks like on the inside as well. Part of those stripes there you can see are not going to be covered. Okay, now I'm putting these 2 together, and then eventually I changed my mind and I thought no, because I need to have the white one too. So I'm putting the white and the gray together. Now do not push these together too much, because eventually you're going to be pulling them back apart again. So for reference, I decided to go ahead and measure these. These are about 2 inches in diameter, and that's what the square ones were too. I didn't do that before, and I wanted to let you guys know that. And I'm going to do what I did to the square canes. We're going to do the same to the circle ones as well. And since that is the case, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch my hands talk as I cut these bullseyes up and then place them back together. Okay, so now that I have the bullseyes completed, I'm going to take 1/2 of the white bullseye and 1/2 of the gray bullseye and place them back together. I do this where the thicker offset of white or gray piece is connected to its opposite white or gray piece. When that is put back together, I will then cut this bullseye in quarters again, except you will cut it in quarters where the black line is not. And when this happens, you're going to take the piece that has gray and white with the black line running right through the middle. That's going to be used in our final piece. And you're going to have the extra gray piece and the extra white piece. Keep these because they're going to become very useful later on. All right, finally, we're going to go ahead and create our chain link cane. And like I said, you're going to pull those two bigger pieces apart. You're going to flip them around, and then you're going to put your gray and white piece right in between each of them. I add in another extra black piece of clay on a number 3 setting, yet again, and you could do that to the other side as well. Once I have this done, I'm going to go ahead and take some more black clay, roll it up, and then press that into a triangular log. Once I have those, I'm going to fill that in to the little gaps on our chain link, and then we'll go ahead and reduce this cane. Now that I have my triangle pieces, I'm going to place these into the cane. And here's the thing, I had to go ahead and once I placed them in, they didn't conform really great. So I had to go ahead and press them down and even kind of spread out the triangle a little bit to make sure it would fit into the chain link that I'm building. All right, so this particular cane is fairly big. I mean, I had probably 2 inches or a little bit more. And for a lot of you, you're like going, well, gee, sometimes, yeah, they get really big. Well, I like to try to keep these things a little bit on the smaller side. But when you get that big, you can tell that I'm palming it. So I'm palming each side as I go around and giving it even pressure. Once I get this thing going, I then take my roller and I'll just on even pressure on all 4 sides, getting it to move. Now, mind you, I am also using Kato clay here. I really do recommend, guys, use Kato clay when you're building some of these canes. I've tried to do it with other clays, and sometimes it's just not as successful. I always have to go back to Kato. So right here, as you can tell, I've elongated it out. Once I have that elongated out, we're going to go ahead and cut this thing right in the middle, and we're going to see our chain link. And there we have it. Yay, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. So from here, I went ahead and decided to cut this. Really, it was a pretty long piece. Cut off my ends and then cut this in half. And mind you, it wasn't, I had a little bit of extra on the end that was still not a complete chain link pattern. So I decided to go ahead and cut off that extra end, give myself 4 pieces. Then I took one of these pieces and we're going to cut slices, giving me 16 slices, and we'll create some fun pattern. Okay, so here's a little bit of what I started with, right? And I'm just going to start flipping some of these 16 pieces. All of this has been baked now to kind of see what kind of patterns I could come up with. And I was really happily surprised with what I got. I was like, oh, wow, I really can get some really fun, decent, really interesting patterns in this. And so I just had fun. I played throughout, and you'll see here in the last part of this segment just a few of the patterns I found. All right, so in creating this particular cane, I had a lot of extra pieces left over. I really did. I still had like at least one full square type that was all together. So I thought, let's flip it around, let's have a little fun. And I had some color that I had done before. So I thought, okay, let's take a purple and green and a purple and green. I thought, well, let's go ahead and try green first, just pure green, right? Or pure purple, like right here. I thought, okay, put the purple, put a green piece. Yeah, it's interesting, but I wanted to do a little bit more fun. So a purple and green together, and then taking another purple and green piece together, because I thought, yeah, let's go ahead and split it up. Do that, why not? And see what we get if we add in a little color. And that's what this segment is about. Now, there are a couple of points here I want to show. I did another purple and green at the bottom, but I flipped it. So I put the purple on the opposite side of the green, as you can tell right here. I thought, let's add in a little interest, right? And then I also found, and you're going to find this when you put this thing together, I have a gap in the center. Now, I could push the two triangular pieces on the outside together and make that completely black. You could do that. Or I came in here just a little later on and I decided to fill it in with my beige. Now, as you can tell, this particular, round bullseye was a beige core, right? So with that in mind, I decided, okay, let's go ahead and make the triangles, those triangle logs that are going to get filled in here, let's make those beige as well. Let's really bring in some color and have some fun. So understand, you have a lot that you can play with here. You can just do all sorts of different things. Mind you, I used purple and green. Maybe you want to use pink and blue or some other colors. Do so. Have some fun with this and see what you get. From here, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my chain link piece or my chain link cane in color, and then I'll reduce it down. I'll cut 16 slices, and then from those 16, I'll give you a few patterns that I found of yet many more that you can discover on your own. Okay, so these are just a few of the end results I found in creating my chain link in black and white and color. Please use this for study and reference. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'm always wondering what you're thinking. Otherwise, I am sending out my biggest hugs to each of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.